his gifts as a wide receiver tight end. But now it's maybe some of the dirty work, if you will, where he's got to get his hand in the dirt and get after some people at the line of scrimmage. So, and he's done a great job. I mean, physically, he's more developed, he's stronger. He's had he had a few days where he was dehydrated. It gets a little hot in Louisiana in the summer. But other than that, he has made incredible progress. So we're looking for him to have a great year for us.
Right side first row, and then pass it to your right.
Todd comes 24/7 Sports. Brian, it seems like your teams and against Ole Miss has kind of been like a firework kind of matchup right till the end. Just what do you look back on it last year, and how do you look at the matchup this year?
Well, when I think of the Ole Miss games, I think of we all want to play better defense. They've been great offensive games, right? I mean, we made an incredible comeback and won that game in overtime. The year before, it was a track meet. It's a game that our fan base loves to play against Ole Miss. But I think we would both say that we're looking to play championship level defense. And I think Ole Miss was closer to that last year with the group that they put together. Now it's our job to put together a championship defense at LSU, and I think we're closer to that.
Middle, second row.
Hey, Coach Michael Brawler, WNSP in Mobile. You've had the opportunity to coach against Alabama now 3 times. It's obviously one of the biggest rivalries in the conference, but there's also been 2 different coaches. How has that changed going to prepare against Alabama from a Nick Saban coach team to a Kalen DeBoer coach team?
Well, look, I've played him 5 times because I played him twice at Notre Dame, and the one characteristic is physicality in the trenches. Alabama has been the most physical team that I've gone against as a head coach. They showed that and displayed that against us last year. That's why it was so important for us to upgrade there, especially on the defensive line. We felt like we got pushed around a little bit. So I would say there's some great similarities to Coach Saban's teams and Coach DeBoer's in that they recognize that this game is still one up front, and Alabama recognizes that. Now, do they have terrific skill players? Absolutely, right? We could talk about them all day. But I think it starts with the trenches, and I think it starts with the ability to maintain a standard that has been set at Alabama, and I think Kalen's done that as well.
Front row.
Dick Cox with Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting. Well, Coach, it seems like every year you have the tough season's opener. You've got another probably top 5 matchup going to Clemson, the Battle of the Tigers, the Battle of Death Valley, and all the things you can imagine right there. But what are your thoughts about going to Clemson to play week 1?
A great deal of respect for Clemson. I think that is a given because of my background playing Clemson, as an ACC team. So I have great respect for Dabo and what he's built and the championships. But at the end of the day, our feeling is this is a goal of ours. This is one of our tangible goals that we have put out in front, that we want to start the season 1-0. It's important to us. And so our off-season training has been about that. It's about going 1-0 and playing a great program. And we're excited about the challenge. It's going to be difficult, but look, I don't think you set realistic goals unless they're difficult. This will be a difficult challenge for us, but one that we're excited about and one that we're focused on with great intent.
Front row.
Jacques Houston, WAFB Baton Rouge. Coach.
Jacques, is it Jacques?
Like Cousteau.
Jacques, yes. How you doing, Jacques?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
How's the handicap?
You know what? I had other things to do in the month of June. In July, it goes quickly.
Yeah. Well, you had a good week. Garrett Nussmeier, he's not a hired gun. It's not like he threw a bunch of money. Hey, come play for us. He loves LSU. He grew up in it. Just what does that mean when you're the face of your team and your leader is that guy?
He represents LSU. He represents the state of Louisiana. I mean, he is our guy. I mean, he's waited for this opportunity. He loves LSU. And so you that he brings to the table, as I said in many of these settings, experience is the best teacher, and he's got experience, and he's got some adversity that he had to overcome along the way. I will take that kind of quarterback anytime in the SEC, because when you go on the road, when you start with Death Valley, you bring a freshman into Death Valley, you better be ready for the backup to get in there too. That's my point, is that experience and a guy that has the traits that represent LSU is our starting quarterback. How cool is that?
Right side, second row.
Hey, Brian, Alex Byington on 3. Two questions for you real quick. With Garrett, Arch, Lenores is here today. Can you just speak to the level of quarterback play in the SEC this year? It seems it's been a few years since they've had the kind of that, I think there's 5 among the Heisman favorites kind of thing right now.
Again, it doesn't surprise me. You're going to get that in the SEC each and every year. And we didn't mention some other guys that are pretty darn good quarterbacks that are coming back as well. It's the nature of what you expect that you're going to get in the SEC. And they're all, the 3 that you mentioned, are all distinctly different. And that's even a better trait for your conference, that they don't all look the same. And each one of them brings an asset to their teams that you build around. We built our offense around Garrett Nussmeier in terms of what he can do. Why wouldn't you? Next year, we might have a triple option quarterback. We'll build a triple option for him. But Nussmeier and the quarterbacks that you mentioned, each one of their coaches is building their offense around him.
Second question. Witt, Harold, both 2 guys coming off injuries. Just what does that linebacker group, especially that first team, have to prove right now? You have some highly rated guys like Harold. And what they got to prove this year?
Well, anytime you have an injury that shortens your year, and look, Harold had to make the ultimate commitment. Do I go to the NFL or do I come back? And he made that choice. We didn't make it for him. We gave him the data and the information, and he looked through it and made the best decision for him, and he felt like it was to come back. Now, you don't come back unless you have the expectations that you're going to be a dominant player. He's got the ability to do so, and I think we're helping ourselves as a team by moving him to an outside backer position, and we're helping him because I think that that's his next stop at the NFL. As it relates to Witt, Witt is our passion. He is our guy that is locked in every workout, every training session. I mean, you have a high energy coach at every player workout. That's just the way he is wrapped. It's his DNA. So as a coach, you can imagine I can get 2 hours sleep every night because I've got weeks.
Left side, third row.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX at College Station. Donovan Green, an incoming transfer tight end. Kind of, what have you seen from him so far early on? What are kind of your expectations?
Pleasant surprise is how I would characterize his addition. As you know, he played as a true freshman at A&M and then suffered a very difficult injury that really put him in a tough position to really find his footing at A&M. And he says nothing but great things about the staff and how he was treated there. This was just a fresh start for him. And for us, we bring a mature veteran player that has had some success when healthy. And we're seeing that version of him right now in our program.
Middle, fifth row.
ESPN 167 in Auburn, and head coach. Eventful offseason for college football.
Yeah.
Your level of confidence that the new rules can be enforced and the biggest challenges that you think the industry's going to face?
Yeah, I'm excited about where we're moving. I mean, we're in the early stages of this, so there's going to be some iterations along the way that we're going to have to look to address, improve. But I think if we operate with transparency, if we do a great job with consistency in how we apply things on a day-to-day basis, and great communication, because we're all entering this for the first time. We haven't all figured this out yet. But I'm I'm excited about it. I mean, I want to share the revenue with the players. I want them to have a great experience where they can now fly in their families to watch them play and have a place to stay and have transportation and have those kinds of things. Look, the salary cap this year is close to $280 million in the NFL. We're going to be about $13 million. We're short money, but we're not short of sharing the experiences that the student athlete can have with this model. So I'm excited about it. Now, it's got to start with us though, too. Coaches, those that represent the universities, we can't be looking for shortcuts and trying to get around the model. Let's embrace the model with integrity and morality and let's help build this thing, because I think we're moving in the right direction. Let's not mess it up.
Final two questions right here and then on the end.
Hey Coach, Jada Ferris with WAP in Baton Rouge,
Oh,
right
I'm
here.
sorry.
Yeah, when you have 14 guys who played in the bowl game, who kind of know the expectation coming back, and then how much does that help when you're trying to bring in new guys like Barry Brown and DJ Pickett?
Well, it's absolutely crucial to have an established culture within your program. A culture is just the same way as saying, what are the standards that are acceptable, and what standards do you live by on a day-to-day basis within your program? So when you have veterans that have been in there, the Whit Weekses and the Garrett Nussmeyers and Bo Bordelons, those guys that epitomize that and hold people accountable, you can bring in transfers because they easily assimilate because everybody's doing the same thing. So they would be outside the lines, or under the line, if you will, if they didn't. So having those guys back is extremely important. Having leaders that hold up players accountable, and especially transfers that can now come in and assimilate to the culture, that means everything.
Final question on the right.
Hey, Coach, Carmine Janae with Fox Carolina. You've obviously had sustained success, so has Coach Dabo Sweeney. What do you think are the pillars of his programs that have allowed him to have so much success? And then when you're starting off the season with such a great matchup against another, legendary coach, what is your feeling, your excitement level when you have that going into the season?
Well, I know Dabo very well. He's extremely passionate about the game, but he wants to teach through this game. He wants to develop his players spiritually, intellectually, socially. He wants to give them the opportunity to be the best version of themselves on the field and off the field, and he runs a program accordingly. He gets knocked all the time for not wanting to take transfers. That's not really at the heart of it. He's not bringing anybody that doesn't have the right fit, right? And we all know what that means, right? You might have the skills, but you might not fit the culture. And he's developed a winning culture there, and I respect him for what he's done. But on the other hand, it's also a program that is regarded as a premier program. And so we've got an incredible challenge, one that we're excited about, one that we're looking forward to. We still think we are the Death Valley. They can use the name too. We're letting them borrow it. But I would say at the end of the day, it's about the respect that I have for him and what he's developed in his program, and then maintaining that, consistently year in and year out.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.